Hey everyone, good morning. I'm getting connected, making sure that we are all good from a technology standpoint. Same as with any yoga, breathwork, meditation class, you're going to want to have something to sit upon today when we do our meditation. Just something to give you a little bit of support for the spine. So whether that's a pillow, a rolled up blanket, a yoga block, whatever you've got lying around, get creative. And I would also suggest getting a piece of paper and something to write with just for today's meditation. It is going to be different than what we normally do in my classes, which would be either some sort of Sanskrit or Gurmukhi mantra, but today we're going to be doing one that is one of the very few English mantras, morning, that Yogi Bhajan passed on to us. So it can be a little bit long or difficult, I guess, to pick up. So if you wanted to get something to write it down, whenever we get closer, I'll let you know what those words are. And our topic for today is going to be moving from a place which can be chaos into a place of peace. And we're going to do that a couple of ways today. We're going to practice working with the breath in our Kriya today. And there's a very symbiotic relationship between the breath and the aura. It's almost like this feedback loop. As we breathe, as we get this prana within our body, even as we exhale, we are sort of like enforcing this protective bubble that's around us. And your aura can go up to 9 feet around you. And it helps to, sometimes it's just like the vibe that people will call it, the vibe that you pick up from people. And there may be times when you have noticed before that people who kind of have that calming vibe, it transfers. It's very helpful to also have other people calmed around them. On the same side, if you've got someone that is experiencing a lot of chaos, a lot of things that are going on underneath the surface, there's sort of that same vibe too, right? And we can get pulled into that, and we can feel for those feelings, and we can spot those things. So being able to cultivate that stillness on the inside is a way that we can have this projected to the outside. And this is even more important tool and skill to be able to cultivate in the modern world. But this is something that's not new. So when we talk about stilling the fluctuations of the mind, this is one of like the essential foundational disciplines that we talk about in yoga. And these were in the sutras that Patanjali gave over to us. And this is from 4,000 years ago. This is from 500 BC that he lived. So same time, kind of around like Plato, if you're looking into Western philosophy, taking a look at Eastern, we've got that same thing. These sutras that he carried on to us, passed on to us. And by stilling the fluctuations of the mind, he said it in Sanskrit as chitta vritti nirodha. And it's this idea of, if we've got these things going on, how do we still that in order to yoke, in order to get into that union, in order to have that connection with, we understand what the mind is saying. The mind is going off. The mind is looking for all of these answers. And sometimes we just don't have the answer yet. And that's okay. That's part of collecting more data. It's part of slowing down. When we may feel in that place that we don't know what to do, we don't know how to handle a situation, there's tension, there's conflict, we don't like the way it feels, we want it to go a way, we want it to end, a way to do that is to just sit with it and be okay with the not knowing. If we don't know, we're not supposed to know yet. And finding comfort in that and feeling okay instead of feeling the need to have to know, feeling the need to be in control. So we're going to work on that today. Imagine as we get started to just tune in, as we get started to just kind of settle. Imagine what that chaos feels like. Imagine if you have a plastic bottle or something that has a ton of sediment, a ton of rocks, a ton of mud, and you shake it up and you get all of these things worked up. How long does that bottle have to sit before all of the sediment falls to the bottom, before that water begins to get clear again instead of murky, before it gets to that place of peace? Imagine that same sediment settling in yourself, allowing the breath to facilitate the settling, allowing the breath to fill up this bubble that's going to contain your peace, contain your stillness. And when you learn to contain that stillness, when you learn to acknowledge what the chaos even feels like in your body, you can recognize it in that moment and then learn how to find that stillness in those interactions, right? How to find peace with saying, I don't know, or I don't have an answer for you yet, right? Okay, so let's get started. Bring yourself to a comfortable cross-leg position. Seated so that your sit bones are attached either to the floor or to your cushion, pillow, whatever you've got. And take a moment here to just connect yourself today to your breath, to your body, to this space, in this moment, right now. Turning the gaze inward and upward at the third eye. Stimulating that pituitary gland whenever we bring that focus there. That's also going to help us with feeling that calm, feeling that peace. It gives signals to our brain that everything is okay. And it secretes some feel-good hormones to tell the rest of the body what the mind will know. So just focusing now on the depth and the flow of your own rhythm, of your inhale and your exhale. Focusing on this moment in this breath. Noticing how the breath shows up in the body. Feeling the sediment settle. Bringing our awareness now on our foundation. So noticing where our body is connected to the floor. It may be your sit bones, it may be the side of your foot, the side of your shin or your calf. Notice the stability there. Notice the strength in your body. And when you feel rooted, use your next breath to rise all the way up as you lengthen from the base of your spine up through the crown of your head, like someone was pulling a string. So we're lifting our posture, lifting the heart, creating more space for ourselves internally to take up more space, to invite more breath. With your next inhale, bring the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, roll them down and back so that they sit just a little lower than before. From here, begin rubbing the palms together at heart center, creating a little bit of activating energy. Also taking a moment here if you'd like to set an intention for today's practice. So whether that's one word, one sentence, a color, an image, a musical note, however it shows itself to you. Let that mantra anchor you in today's practice. And when you're ready, and you've got that in your mind's eye, take a moment to press the palms together at heart center. Feel the knuckles against your chest. And we will take a moment here to tune in with the Adi mantra. So we are turning on our Wi-Fi. We are tuning into Patanjali. We are tuning into all of this wisdom that came before us. May it also help to support us and guide us in today's practice. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And inhale to tune in. Om Namo Inhale deeply. Suspend the breath. Apply Mudra. So squeeze the anal sphincter, the sex organs. Squeeze that energy upward. Visualize it spiraling from the base of the spine, making its journey all the way up through the crown of the head. And exhale slowly through the nose. Let the hands come down either to the knees or to the ground if you need some more grounding energy. Keep that gaze at the third eye just for a moment. And take a moment here to witness the space that you've created. Take a moment to celebrate any space or expansion that your own voice may have already created. And just take a little curious peek at anywhere else that you still may be feeling a bit of tension or a bit of unease. Very good. When you're ready, you can blink your eyes open. I'm going to just get a little bit of tunes going. I have to get off of my Hamilton playlist that I've just been listening to on repeat. So allow yourself to come seated onto your mat, or if you're feeling like you need a little bit more support today, get yourself that blanket. The duration of the Kriya will be seated. So if you're feeling like you need some more, if you're feeling like when you're going through these exercises, if it's feeling like something is stuck, like you're not able to fully open up the diaphragm, that's when it's a good job to get something else underneath you just to help lift, because we all carry a lot of tightness in our hips, just to help lift, give some more of that space to breathe, okay? So do a little bit of warm-ups, just a tad before we get started. Bring those knees to the hands. And using this time to rotate the heart around the bottom of the spine. So using that inhale as we move forward, exhale as we go back. Taking a moment just to loosen up the hips here. Moving at your own pace. On your next exhale, take a moment to pause and then begin rotating in the opposite direction. Still inhaling forward, exhaling back. Begin to make your circles smaller and smaller until you come to a neutral place at center. Inhale deeply. Exhale consciously. And take a moment now to come into tabletop position. We get a bit of cat-cow action in this morning to work on flexibility of the spine. As always, keep that alignment so that the arms are underneath the elbows, knees underneath the hips. If you have wrist issues, you can keep a little fist here for extra support. And inhale, we drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, roll down and up. At your own pace here. Just getting that flexibility in, warming up that central nerve channel. Making sure that all of our connections are open for whatever messages want to come through the body today. Good. Inhale forward. Exhale. Lower down onto the heels. Let the forehead touch the mat. And then your choice. Either let the arms come out in front or you can let them rest down at your side. Whatever your body needs today so that you're able to find some more expansion in the back body and the shoulder blades. Feeling that relax. Do some long, deep breathing here. On your next inhale, let the hands come underneath the shoulders. Use the hands to push yourself up slowly so that the head is the last thing to rise. Come back to your cross-leg position, where we will begin today's Kriya. So this one's going to utilize breath of fire. We also want to tie our willpower into our stilling the fluctuations. We want to work on our self-mastery. We want to work on our self-discipline. We want to work on the ability to take action on the things that we say are valuable to ourselves. So when we pump that navel, we're activating all of that reserve energy that we've got. We're putting our willpower on blast and saying, hey, let's tap into this on what we want to take action on. So you're going to let the arms come out to the sides, palm facing down. Keeping this posture here, noticing where your foundation is. And beginning breath of fire. So inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose here. And the gaze is at the third eye. Inhale deeply. Press the palms out to the side like you're pushing away walls. Feel that stretch. Exhale, let the arms come down. Stretch them out if you need to. Grab a Kleenex if you need to. If you've got Texas allergies going on. Take a moment when you tended to your body. Again, just turn inward for a moment. Witness the tension, witness the expansion. Notice how your body feels in this moment. Great. When you're ready, you can blink your eyes open. We're going to move into another breath exercise. We just did breath of fire. The next in this series is a segmented breath. So we're going to do 4 inhales through the nose. So they're like little sips of air. Inhale through the nose. Then 4 exhale through the nose, but you'll feel the belly pump because there'll be short little staccato notes again. So it will sound like this. So on the exhale, you're really punching it, again, with that navel point. And so since we're working with the navel, we're working with the solar plexus, we're going to invite a little bit of Surya Kriya into this one. So you're going to take the ring finger and touch that with the tip of the thumb. And you're going to bring your hands up into this sort of goalpost like motion. Making sure the arms are parallel here. Again, the gaze is inward and upward. Chin just slightly down and back. And using your segmented breath here, begin. Very good. Keep going. You got this. Surya Kriya invites in vitality into our system. So imagine how you're inviting more of that vitality in with your breath. How that breath is feeding the aura to give that protective bubble a little bit more oomph and strength. Good. Inhale deeply. Bring the hands at heart center and press the palms together. Apply Mula Bandha here. Squeezing that energy. Visualizing it from the base of the spine up through the crown of the head. Exhale through the nose. Shake out the arms. Stretch the neck if you need to. Take a moment. Again, check in with your body. Check in with your needs. So next, move on. We're going going to do any type of directed breath or segmented breath for this next one. It will just be allowing the breath to power the movements that we do. So for this one, again, remaining seated. The fingers are going to be interlaced and moved outwards. And for the inhale, we will come up. Exhale, come back down, right about to heart center here. So inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhale up. Exhale, the arms come down to the sides, palms facing out. Again, like there's that wall there. Without a rest, we're going to move on to the next one here. So exhale is here. Inhale, we bring the hands up to where the palms are touching, or the outsides of the palms, outsides of the hands. So out here, inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Really feel that stretch as you bring the exhale down. Feel that stretch in the wrist and the hand and the forearm. Letting this movement originate from the shoulders, being mindful of any tension you may be carrying in the neck and the muscles on the face. How can you soften into this movement? Inhale up. Exhale, the arms come down either to the tops of the knees or to the ground. If you're feeling you need some more grounding energy. Taking a moment here, again, witness the space that you've created. So we've just done some windshield wiper movements to work on the aura, horizontally and vertically. How does this space feel? How does your body feel? Very good. Blink your eyes open when you're ready. If you need a moment to stretch out the legs, give the knees a little bit of love, get some more circulation in there. We're about halfway through the Kriya. So let yourself come back to a cross-legged position. We're going to return to our goalpost pose here in Gyan Mudra this time. So index finger touching the thumb tips. This time we're channeling wisdom. And we will move with the breath here, turning at the ribs. As we inhale, we'll turn to the left. As we exhale, we'll turn to the right. Good. Inhale, center. Exhale, let the arms come down. Take a moment again here just to let the breath regulate itself. Visualize the sediment settling here. Allow yourself some self-compassion today as you practice stilling the fluctuations of the mind. Very good. Allow the hands to come on to the tops of the shoulders now. Fingertips in front, thumbs in back. And again, we'll use the breath here to bend at the ribs, but this time we're bending a little bit down. Not all the way, we don't want to collapse. We're going to keep that sturdy foundation and just bend from the waist here. So inhaling to the left, exhaling to the right. Feeling that bend as slow or as fast as you need to, so that's controlled movement. Thinking about the swaying from side to side being similar to a palm tree, if you'd like to embody that. We've got ourselves rooted in the ground, but at the top we're still very flexible. So the legs aren't coming up, the hips aren't coming up, the bum's not coming up. We're staying rooted, but we still got that flexibility in the top to kind of move with the wind, move with the chaos. And still know that we can be settled and at peace underneath. Even when there's chaos going on around us. Very good. Inhale, center. Exhale, the arms come down. Shake them out if you need to. Here we're going to move into more of a cooling breath. So we're going to work on alternate nostril breathing. We want to inhale through the left side, because the left side of our body is very calming, cooling energy, restorative energy. And then we're going to exhale through the right nostril. So what you'll do is you'll just use your thumb and your ring finger or pinky, whatever feels most natural to you, to help block this. So with your thumb, you can block the right nostril. Inhale through the left. Ring finger, close off the left, exhale through the right. And we're going to do a type of quick breathing here. Normally we'll do long, deep breathing, but it's going to be as fast as you can kind of muster through one nose at a time. Short, powerful breaths. Good, keep with it. Keep that gaze at the third eye. Inhale deeply through both nostrils. Exhale completely. Again, take a moment here. Spend some time just inward and upward at the third eye. Focus on the space that you've created here. Allow your breathing to regulate and do whatever it would like. Notice how the breath is showing up in the body. Very good. So we're moving on to our next cooling breath now. This one's called Sitali Pranayama. And we are going to breathe through the mouth for the first time in the series. So I'm going to curl the tongue into a U shape as you inhale. And if you're not able to do that, it's a genetic thing, whether you can do it or not. If you're not able to curl the tongue, you can always just sort of breathe through the teeth. So it's like, you want to feel that cooling air come through the mouth there. And then on the exhale, through the nose. So in through the mouth with that cooling breath. Exhale through the nose. good. Inhale deeply through both nostrils. Exhale completely. Give yourself another little stretch in the legs before we move into the last breathing exercise of today's pranayama kriya. This last one, we are keeping the gaze open. We're going to be focusing on the mudra of the hands. And we'll also be doing a little bit of alternate breathing. Not with the nostrils though, just through the inhale and the exhale and how we're working with that. So the breathing will say to inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, then swap that. So you'll inhale through the mouth, exhale through the nose. In through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the mouth, out through the nose. So this one's a bit more trickier to play with, but see what you can do to stay on course and be kind to yourself. If you fall off, you can always get right back on with the next breath. The mudra will be to connect the center 3 fingers and let those fingertips touch in front of you. Then allow the thumbs and the pinky to touch so that it's sitting right about heart center. But when you look through your palm, you can view the pinky. And that's where your gaze is going to stay for this one. So keeping that foundation, keeping that structure in the body, keeping the spine lengthened to get all that space for the breath. Keeping the heart lifted and open. Take this time now to focus in on those pinkies and practice this breath. How can you stay on track? Very good. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Okay. So let's get ready for the meditation for today. And I will show this to you so that you can see what we're going to be saying today. So this is a reminder to ourselves, to our mind, to the space that we take up, that whenever we've got all of this chaos, when we've got all of these internal things going on outside of us, remembering what we have control over, calming that chaos inside, finding that peace inside, and remembering that we have everything that we need already inside of us. So it's a meditation for self-affirmation. And what we're going to say here is, me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of this space. So I'm the master of this space. I'm the master of this domain. Nothing's getting in unless I decide it's getting in. Nothing will get out unless I choose to express it, unless I choose to take action on what's happening here. Okay. So actually, I wonder, I can't keep this in a space at the moment where you can see it, but if you have those three things, purity, reality, grace, that would be the mudra for today, the mantra. I can move it here. I don't know if that's helpful, but it's kind of there. The mudra for today, since we already channeled Surya Kriya, we already channeled that solar plexus, the hands will be interlocked, fingers will be interlocked in Venus lock, and the hands are just going to rest right here at the solar plexus. I will keep connected to the time here, but we will begin. Again, keeping that gaze upward and inward. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And begin. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I'm the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I'm the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I'm the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I'm the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I'm the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And allow yourself now to come lying down onto your back for deep relaxation. I hope that this one was kind to you. I was going through my notes and trying to see which themes, which classes, which things that I've taught sort of a long time ago, but things that have stood by me and helped me. And this Me Within Me, I actually taught almost a year ago to the day. It was on July 20th, but I taught that one for the first time because it was just so powerful. And so I hope it's something that also helps to bring you that peace, also helps to help you find that self-compassion and that strength and that foundation in yourself. So now the reward for all the work. We're going to integrate all of that energy, let everything flow and heal where it would like to go. So let your feet spread as wide as your mat. Let your arms fall away from the sides of your body, palms facing up. Let the shoulders fall away from the ears. As you relax your breath, begin to relax your body, sinking deeper into your support here. You've already done all the work. Just let the ground support you here. Relax the tops of your feet, the ankles, calves and knees. Relax the thighs. Relax the hips. As you relax the breath, relax the belly. Relax the lower back. Relax the rib cage and the shoulder blades. Again, allow yourself to be supported by the ground. Relax the hands. Relax the elbows. Again, let the shoulders fall away from the ears. Relax the neck. Relax the jaw so there's space between the teeth. The muscles on the face. The eyes behind the eyelids. Brow, forehead, scalp are all at ease as your head rests gently against the ground. Allow yourself now to rest as your body heals its 3 trillion plus cells. slowly begin to deepen your breath. As you return back to your body in this moment in time and space. Begin to invite tiny movements into your fingertips and toes. Begin to circle the hands around the wrists and the feet around the ankles in all directions. On your next inhale, bring the feet together. Bring the arms up overhead for a full body stretch. Exhale, bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little hug. Rock from side to side. Give those kidneys and lower back a little bit of a massage. From here, begin to rub together the palms of the hands, the soles of the feet. Rub the tongue along the roof of the mouth, stimulating the body's energy centers, the meridian points. From here, you can either rock and roll along the spine a few times to come to seated, or you can simply just turn over to one side and use your arm to push yourself up. We will conclude today's practice by singing the Long Time Sunshine song. Taking a moment here to reconnect with your intention for today's practice. To keep in mind any last peace and blessings that you would like to send to yourself on the first round. And the second will be any that you'd like to send to anyone that you know or anyone that you have yet to meet along your journey. So take a moment here to bring that gaze again inward and upward of the third eye. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And inhale to sing. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on. May we be happy. May we be healthy. May we be holistically in union with our mind, body, and spirit. May we use these practices to honor those that came before us, to teach us about stilling the fluctuations of the mind. Satnam. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for your practice today. As always, if you've got any questions, things that you want to know more about, things that are curious, questions that you've got, difficulties that you're running into with any of these movements, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at Hippie Rebel Creative, and go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube. We've got a huge library that is just growing and growing every week, showing all the different work that myself and Anna and Katie are putting into it. So we've got something for every mood, every flavor that you've got going on right now. So my best to you. Peace and blessings. Satnam.